Subscribe to my channel for more dramatic stories. The dinner party had been Jennifer's idea from the start. That was always the case. She thrived on hosting, loved being the center of attention, and took pride in showing off our newly renovated Victorian home in the historic district. I'd spent a year and a half restoring every detail, personally overseeing each contractor. But tonight, I wasn't the homeowner. I was just the husband expected to smile, pour drinks, and let Jennifer collect compliments. I descended the stairs in dark jeans, a fitted black Henley, and my leather jacket, the one I'd bought in Italy last year. Simple, classic, comfortable. I thought I looked fine. Jennifer, standing in the foyer in her designer dress, scanned me up and down, wearing that familiar expression I'd learned to read. Amusement masking disapproval. "That's what you're wearing?" she asked. "What's wrong with it?" I replied. "Nothing if we were biking or heading to a bar. But we're hosting dinner. Marcus, I told you this was important. Just dinner with your college friends." She stopped herself, shaking her head. "Never mind. They'll be here in 10 minutes. Just try to look presentable." Before I could respond, the doorbell rang. Jennifer's smile flicked on instantly, the kind of public-facing warmth she could summon like a switch. 4 of her college friends filed in, people I'd barely met in our 7 years of marriage. Air kisses, compliments on the house, and praise for Jennifer's dress filled the room. Then Vanessa arrived last. Jennifer's best friend since freshman year, someone I'd encountered countless times at various events. She carried a quiet elegance, intelligent eyes, confident posture, sophisticated without being showy. She was always polite, but distant, orbiting in Jennifer's world. "Marcus," she said, shaking my hand. "Good to see you. Welcome." Jennifer guided everyone to the living room, where I had set up the bar. I played bartender, mixing cocktails while they chatted about gossip, careers, and their group text dramas. I was background noise, which suited me fine. My mind was on a property development deal closing next week that demanded attention. At one point, Jennifer gestured toward the custom walnut bar I had designed and built. "Marcus built this himself," she said. "He's very handy." The tone made it sound like I was a useful appliance rather than the man who had built the house itself. My jaw tightened, but I maintained a neutral expression and continued mixing drinks. Dinner arrived, catered despite Jennifer telling her friends she had prepared it herself. We sat around the refinished dining table, eating food someone else had made, as Jennifer's friends competed to share the most impressive updates from their lives. "So Marcus, what do you do again?" asked one of them, Brittany, I think. "Commercial real estate development. I acquire undervalued properties, renovate them, and either sell or lease them." "Oh, so you're like a house flipper?" Jennifer laughed before I could answer. "Sort of," she added. "Marcus likes to get his hands dirty." She said it as if it were both charming and slightly embarrassing, like I was a child playing in mud. I sipped my wine and said nothing. Any response would have made it worse. After dinner, we moved back to the living room. I was clearing plates when Jennifer's voice cut through the chatter, sharp with laughter. "Oh my God! You have to hear this. Marcus wanted to wear what tonight? Tell them, Marcus. Tell them your first choice." Confused, I stepped back in. "What are you talking about?" "That ridiculous outfit you came down in. The leather jacket, everything." She gestured at me. "My husband looked like trash. I had to send him back upstairs to change. Can you imagine if I'd let him greet you all looking like he was auditioning for Sons of Anarchy?" The room fell silent for a beat. Then some nervous laughter arose. But Vanessa didn't laugh. She looked at Jennifer, then at me with what might have been sympathy. "I'm wearing the same outfit," I said quietly. Jennifer faltered. "What?" "I didn't change. This is what I came down in. The outfit you just called trash." Her face flushed, but she quickly masked it. "Well, it's still inappropriate," she said, smoothing her expression. "I think Marcus looks great," Vanessa interjected, her voice firm and steady. "That's a shot leather jacket, isn't it? Classic 1950s style, genuine horsehide, you can see the grain. That's a $1,500 jacket, Jennifer. Hardly trash." The room went silent again, but this time the tension was heavier. Jennifer stared at Vanessa as if she'd been slapped. "I didn't mean it. I was just joking," Jennifer started. "Were you?" Vanessa asked, calm but with sharp eyes. Her tone suggested that mocking your husband in front of guests isn't joking. It's something else entirely. "Vanessa, don't be ridiculous. Marcus knows I was kidding, right?" Jennifer's voice sharpened. Every eye turned to me. This was the moment she expected me to laugh, to play along, to comfort her at my own expense. That was the usual routine. I'd smoothed over her little cruelties, made excuses for her casual disrespect, pretended not to notice when she diminished me for entertainment. "Not tonight," I said simply. "No, I don't think you were kidding." The silence was unbearable. Jennifer's friends became absorbed in their drinks and the furniture, anything but the tension in the room. Jennifer's face cycled through shock, embarrassment, anger, then forced cheerfulness. "Well, this got awkward fast," she laughed, a sound like breaking glass. "I'm not being sensitive," I said calmly. "I'm being honest. You insulted me in front of your friends. Vanessa called you out, and now you're trying to make me the problem for not pretending it didn't happen." "Oh my God, Marcus. Seriously? You're going to do this now?" Jennifer said. Vanessa stood, grabbing her purse. "I think I should go." "Jennifer, thank you for having me." "Marcus, the house looks amazing. You did an incredible job with the restoration." She glanced at Jennifer one last time. "We'll talk later." She left and the evening collapsed. Jennifer's friends made awkward excuses and filtered out within 20 minutes, leaving us alone in the living room, half-empty wine glasses scattered, silence hanging thick. "I hope you're happy," Jennifer said finally, her voice cold. "You ruined my entire evening." "I ruined it? You called my clothes trash in front of your friends," I said quietly. "It was a joke? When did publicly mocking me become acceptable entertainment?" Jennifer's arms crossed. "So what? You want an apology?" "No," I said. "I want to know when I became someone you think it's okay to humiliate in front of others. Stop overreacting. You know what? I'm going to bed. When you're ready to act like an adult, we can talk." She left me there, her footsteps fading up the stairs until the bedroom door clicked shut. I sank into the couch I'd reupholstered, in the room I'd painstakingly restored, in the house I'd poured myself into making beautiful, and I realized something fundamental. I'd been so consumed with building our life that I hadn't noticed our marriage quietly falling apart. My phone buzzed. A message from Vanessa. "I'm sorry about tonight. What she said wasn't okay. You deserved better." I stared at it for a long moment, then typed back, "Thank you for speaking up. Most people would have just laughed along." 3 dots appeared. "I'm not most people. And for what it's worth, you do look great. That jacket is classic." I couldn't help but smile. A stranger, well, Jennifer's best friend, but essentially a stranger to me, had shown more respect in 10 minutes than my wife had in months, maybe years. The next morning, Jennifer acted as if nothing had happened. She came downstairs in her yoga outfit, made her green smoothie, and scrolled through her phone while I prepared coffee. "I'm meeting Brittany for lunch," she said without looking up. "Don't wait up. We're going shopping afterward." "Jennifer, we need to talk about last night." "There's nothing to talk about. You made it weird. My friends left early. It's over. Let's just move on." "I'm not moving on. You publicly disrespected me, and now you're acting like I'm the problem for pointing it out." She finally looked up, irritation written all over her face. "What do you want from me, Marcus? A formal apology? Fine. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings about your jacket." "Happy? That's not an apology," I said. "That's dismissal in different words." "I don't have time for this." She grabbed her keys. "I'll be back later." She left, and I spent the day working on my laptop, contracts, property assessments. Work didn't mock you, didn't diminish you. Buildings didn't lie or criticize. Success was measurable, reliable, respected. Around 3 p.m., my phone rang. "Vanessa, I hope this isn't weird," she said. "I just wanted to check on you. Jennifer called me this morning, furious. She thinks I undermined her last night. You told the truth, I said. I did. But apparently that's not what best friends are supposed to do. She paused. Marcus, can I ask you something? You can tell me it's none of my business. Go ahead. How long has she been treating you like that? I thought about it. Honestly, probably always in small ways, but it's gotten worse. Or maybe I'm just finally noticing. Over the next few days, something shifted. Not in Jennifer. She carried on as if the dinner party incident had never happened, treating it like an overreaction we'd laugh about someday. But something in me had changed. I began seeing patterns I'd ignored for years. The way she introduced me at events. This is my husband, Marcus. He fixes houses, not runs a company. As if I were merely a handyman. She'd married for convenience. The way she corrected me in public. Actually, Marcus, that's not quite right. Then delivered her version as fact, even when I'd been correct. The way she made decisions about our life without consulting me, only to frame my concerns as controlling. Marcus wants to micromanage everything. I just booked the vacation, and now he's upset because I didn't ask permission. I didn't want permission. I wanted consideration, partnership, basic respect. Vanessa began texting me now and then. Nothing improper, just casual check-ins, funny articles, opinions on restaurants or contractors. Adult conversations, normal and respectful. One afternoon she wrote, "You're renovating the old Morrison building downtown. I'd love to see it if you ever give tours. I'm fascinated by historic preservation." I hesitated. Jennifer would have a problem with me being alone with Vanessa, but lately, she had a problem with almost everything I did. Sure. I'm heading there tomorrow morning if you want to meet. 9 a.m.? Perfect. The Morrison building was my favorite project, a 1920s commercial structure abandoned for 15 years. I'd bought it for a fraction of its value and spent 2 years restoring it, carefully preserving its original character. It was almost finished and I was proud of it. Vanessa arrived at exactly 9 o'clock, casually dressed in jeans and a blazer, holding 2 coffees. "Brought you one," she said, handing me a cup. "Black, right? I remember from the party. Good memory. Thanks." I gave her the full tour, explaining restoration choices, pointing out preserved features, discussing modern code compliance challenges in historic structures. She asked intelligent questions, grasped the complexity, appreciated the craftsmanship. "This is incredible, Marcus," she said, standing in the main lobby where I'd restored the original terrazzo floors. "You should be incredibly proud. How does Jennifer feel about it?" "She's never seen it." Vanessa looked at me sharply. "Never? You've been working on this for 2 years. She says construction sites bore her. I invited her early on, but she always had something else. That seems like a missed opportunity. If my partner was doing something like this, I'd want to be part of it." "Yeah. Well, Jennifer and I have different interests." "Marcus, can I be direct?" Vanessa asked. "I've known Jennifer for 15 years. I love her. She's my best friend. But watching how she treats you, especially at that dinner, made me realize something. She's always done this. Every relationship, every guy she dates. She finds someone solid, stable, successful, then slowly chips away at him, makes him smaller to feel bigger." I leaned against the restored marble desk, absorbing her words. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you deserve to know. And because after that party, I realized I'd been complicit by staying silent. You stood up for yourself that night, and Jennifer called me the next day, raging that I'd betrayed her by complimenting you, as if basic respect for her husband were disloyal. What did I tell her? That she was wrong, that her behavior was cruel. And if she couldn't see that, maybe she should think about why she married you in the first place. Vanessa met my eyes. She hasn't spoken to me since. 15 years of friendship, and now apparently I'm dead to her, just for pointing out that her behavior was unacceptable. We stood quietly for a moment in the lobby I had painstakingly designed, surrounded by sunlight and polished surfaces, talking about relationships that had been built on shaky ground. "I think my marriage might be over," I said softly. "Yeah," Vanessa replied with gentle certainty. "I think it might be." My phone buzzed. Jennifer, where are you? Your location is off. I stared at the text, feeling a cold knot tighten in my chest. My location had been off since last week. I was tired of constant check-ins masquerading as concern. Tired of texts that were really just demands to justify my whereabouts. I need to go, I told Vanessa. Of course. Thank you for showing me this. It's truly remarkable, she said, pausing at the door. Marcus, she added, whatever you decide about your marriage, make sure it's what you actually want. Not what's comfortable, not what's expected, but what you truly want. I drove home with her words echoing in my mind. What did I want? Not what I should do, not what was fair or right or expected, but what did I genuinely want? I wanted respect. I wanted a true partnership. I wanted someone who celebrated my successes instead of diminishing them. I wanted to stop tiptoeing around, stop shrinking myself to make someone else comfortable. Jennifer was in the living room when I got home, laptop open, absorbed in her work. Where were you? She asked without looking up. Giving a tour of the Morrison building. To who? Vanessa. Her head snapped up, eyes narrowing. Excuse me? Vanessa asked to see it. I showed her. You spent the morning alone with my best friend, my ex-best friend, and thought that was appropriate? We looked at a building, I said calmly. Adults can do that. Don't be naive, Marcus. This is exactly what she wanted. She's been trying to come between us since that stupid dinner party. I sat across from her, deliberate and composed. Jennifer, Vanessa isn't the problem. She isn't coming between us. There is no us anymore. Her face drained of color. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fact that we don't have a marriage. We have a performance where you play the successful wife with a useful husband who knows his place. And I'm done performing. You're being ridiculous. Every marriage has. Don't. I held up my hand. Don't tell me I'm being ridiculous. Don't tell me I'm overreacting. Don't dismiss what I feel. That's exactly the problem. You call my clothes trash in front of your friends. When someone defends me, you get angry at them, not embarrassed by your own behavior. You've never visited a project I've spent 2 years building. You introduce me as someone who just fixes houses, even though you know I run a 7-figure business. You don't respect me, Jennifer, and I finally realized I don't respect myself for accepting that. Her expressions flickered through disbelief, anger, and maybe even fear. So, you want a divorce? Over a stupid comment about a jacket? Not over the jacket. The jacket was just the moment I stopped pretending. This has been building for years. We both know it. Marcus, you're throwing away 7 years of marriage because of some crisis. I'm not having a crisis. I'm having clarity. There's a difference. She stood, pacing, clearly searching for a way through my words. This is about Vanessa, isn't it? She's been poisoning you against me. Vanessa treated me with basic respect. That's it. And the fact that basic respect feels remarkable says everything about our marriage. I won't let you do this. I won't let you destroy our life because you can't take a joke. I met her gaze steadily. You don't get to let me do anything. I'm not asking permission. I'm telling you, this marriage is over. We can do this civilly or we can do it ugly. Your choice. Over the next month, we separated. I moved into a downtown loft temporarily, figuring out my next steps. Jennifer tried everything. Apologies that subtly blamed me, performative tears, anger that felt more authentic, but none of it changed the truth. She didn't respect me, and I wouldn't accept being disrespected anymore. The divorce was messy but not catastrophic. We kept finances mostly separate. My business was mine, her career was hers. We split the house 50-50. She wanted to keep it, I was glad to sell it. Too many memories of shrinking myself in rooms I had built. Vanessa and I spent more time together, not dating at first, just talking as two people who understood each other. She told me about her own divorce 3 years earlier and the relief of leaving someone who made her feel small. Jennifer called me a traitor one evening at dinner, saying I had destroyed her marriage. What did you say? That her marriage was already destroyed. I just held up a mirror. 6 months later, the divorce was final. I bought a historic firehouse and began converting it into a home, entirely mine, built to my specifications, with no compromises for anyone else's vision. One Saturday, Vanessa came by to see the progress. Sunlight poured through the tall windows as she looked around, smiling. "This is you," she said. "Strong, classic, completely yourself." "Is that a compliment?" "The highest one I know how to give." After that, we started dating officially. Slowly, carefully, both of us carrying the scars of previous relationships, but willing to try again. With Vanessa, everything felt different. She celebrated my successes. She asked about my projects. She introduced me with pride, not apology. A year after that dinner party, I was putting the finishing touches on the firehouse when Jennifer called. The first time since the divorce was finalized. "I saw your picture in the business section," she said. "The Morrison Building feature. Congratulations." "Thank you." A pause. "And I've been thinking about what happened, about what you said. I think you were right about how I treated you. I appreciate you saying that. Are you happy with her?" "Yes, very. She always saw something in me that you didn't, or maybe you saw it and didn't value it. I don't know." Another pause. "I'm sorry, Marcus, for all of it. You deserve better." "Yes," I said simply. "I did." After we hung up, I walked through my firehouse. This building I had transformed with vision and effort, feeling complete. Not because Jennifer had apologized, that changed nothing, but because I had finally learned the lesson that night at the dinner party. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When someone treats you like trash, don't negotiate or explain. Just leave. Build something better. Become someone who won't accept being diminished. Vanessa arrived as I finished carrying wine and takeout. She looked at me and smiled. "That's a good look on you," she said. "What look?" "Satisfied. Like you know exactly who you are and you're not apologizing for it." "I learned from experience," I said. "Someone once called my outfit trash. Her best friend complimented me instead. She got angry, but I got free." "Best trade ever," Vanessa said, kissing me. And there, standing in the firehouse I had rebuilt with a woman who truly valued me, I had to agree. That dinner party, that humiliating moment, had been exactly what I needed. Not because it hurt, but because it woke me up. Sometimes the best thing someone can do is show you who they really are. Then you get to choose who you want to be in response. Jennifer chose cruelty masked as humor. I chose dignity, and that made all the difference.